Ever get that, like, longing for a total do-over? A second chance at this whole life thing? Well, today we're diving into that, but get this, with a twist. We're looking at Kristy Greenwood's novel, The Love of My Afterlife.
Intriguing. Tell me more.
Okay, so picture this. Delphie, the main character, kicks the bucket, right? But instead of pearly gates, she ends up in, of all places, a laundrette. Yeah, you heard that right, a laundrette in the afterlife.
Laundrette. Okay. That's not what I was picturing. What's Greenwood doing with that?
That's the genius of it. It's so unexpected. And it makes you think, right? Like, what does it even mean for a place to be a cleansing of the soul?
Right. You expect harps and clouds, not like the smell of fabric softener and the whirring of dryers.
Exactly. But it works somehow. It's both comforting and thought-provoking. And then there's Delphie's Afterlife Therapist.
Oh, okay. There's therapy in the afterlife. Tell me they have comfy couches.
Well, sort of. Her therapist, Merritt, runs her office right out of the laundrette. And she's got this thing about romance novels, soulmates. She even chose her office paint color, dehydrated goose, discontinued, of course, because it's supposed to, like, evoke tranquility. Who knew?
Sounds like my kind of therapist, honestly. But I see what you mean about comfort, right? Even in the afterlife, we crave it in the weirdest ways.
Totally. But Greenwood doesn't let us get too comfy, thank goodness. Delphie gets hit with the "this was your life" video montage, you know, that cringe-worthy highlight reel we all secretly dread.
Oh, man. Talk about a walk down memory lane. I bet that brought up some stuff for Delphie.
Big time. We see her childhood bullies, Jen and Ryan, and Greenwood nails that whole awkward, insecure feeling of being 15 again.
Ugh, don't remind me. But it's those formative experiences that shape us, right? How did those experiences shape Delphie?
It's interesting because even when she's being bullied, she still offers those same bullies her chemistry notes. Like, talk about turning the other cheek.
There's a deep kindness in her, even in the face of cruelty. Shows real strength of character.
Totally. And it's something you see throughout the book, even in her interactions with, say, her art teacher, Mr. Taylor, or her elderly neighbor, Mr. Yoon. Small moments, but they stick with you.
Those seemingly insignificant relationships often teach us the most about ourselves, don't they?
Right. And this sets the stage for Delphie's return to Earth, where things get really interesting. She keeps getting these weird messages from Merritt urging her to wake up. It's like she's caught between worlds.
Ooh, spooky. That's how Greenwood hooks you, right? That blend of the ordinary and the strange.
Exactly. But then things get real fast. Delphie is given this mission. She has to find a man named Jonah and get him to kiss her within 10 days. If she doesn't, she's stuck in Evermore, this strange, in-between version of the afterlife forever. Talk about high stakes.
Okay, that's a lot of pressure. I'd be a nervous wreck.
Right. Who wouldn't be? But here's the thing, and this is what I love about Greenwood. It's not just about the kiss. It's about so much more than just finding the one.
Oh, I like where you're going with this. So it's about the journey, not just the destination.
Exactly. It's about Delphie confronting her past, her fears, all of it. And ultimately, it's about discovering who she really is, kiss or no kiss. And let me tell you, finding this Jonah guy, it's a wild ride.
Yeah.
Delphie ends up in some seriously hilarious situations.
Oh, I bet. Greenwood's great at that, taking ordinary situations and making them both funny and insightful. What kind of situations are we talking about?
Well, there's this life drawing class. Let's just say she becomes the subject of a very revealing portrait. Awkward.
Ouch. I bet that was a little outside her comfort zone.
Totally. Then there's this whole silent disco debacle. Oh, man, I was cringing for her.
The silent disco, now that's an image. I could just see Delphie trying to figure out the steps, completely out of her element.
Oh, totally. And don't even get me started on her wardrobe choices. That vintage dress with the silver daisies, bold move.
Sounds like she's trying to find herself, literally and figuratively, trying on different versions of herself.
Right. It's like she's saying, hey, new life, new me. And speaking of new, enter Cooper, the downstairs neighbor.
Ah, yes, Cooper.
Oh.
The love interest, right?
Well, he's a love interest, that's for sure. But at first, he seems like kind of a grump. Loves his jazz, keeps his apartment immaculate. Definitely not the lovable goofball you might expect.
Opposites attract, maybe. I mean, Greenwood wouldn't make it that easy, would she?
Definitely not. But that's the thing about Cooper, there's more to him than meets the eye. Their first meeting is a train wreck, though. Delphie bursts into his apartment in a full-blown panic. It's comedy gold.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So how does their relationship develop from that to, well, something more?
Slowly. Greenwood is a master of the slow burn. They have this amazing banter witty, a little edgy, and you can feel the tension building between them. Even when they're arguing about his jazz collection, you're like, just kiss already.
So it's more than just physical attraction then. They actually get each other on a deeper level.
Absolutely. They challenge each other, push each other's buttons. It feels real, you know? And it reminds you that sometimes the most unexpected connections are the ones that mean the most.
It's like that saying, you can't hurry love, or something like that. But then, just when you think Delphie and Cooper are about to, like, finally figure things out, bam! Greenwood throws in this major curveball. The Gala scene, the confrontation with Jen, the accident. It's a lot.
Talk about a whirlwind. 1 minute you're celebrating, the next it's like, is everyone okay? What just happened?
It makes you question everything. Is this it for Delphie? Is she getting another shot? Greenwood keeps you guessing until the very end.
Okay, so remember how part 2 ended? Like literally on the edge of our seats. Car crash, Delphie's fate up in the air.
How could I forget? Total cliffhanger.
Right. So part 3 opens, and we're back in the Afterlife laundrette. And guess who's waiting for Delphie?
Let me guess. Merritt. With a cup of chamomile tea and a stack of romance novels.
You got it. But, and this is big, we find out Merritt's real identity. Get this. She's Emily, Cooper's deceased twin sister.
Whoa. Hold up. Oh, okay. Rewind. I did not see that coming. At all.
Right. It's like suddenly all those quirky details about Merritt, the romance novels, the whole mission to find Jonah, they take on a whole new meaning.
It's like Greenwood was playing chess while we were playing checkers. So was Emily like pulling strings from the afterlife? Was this whole thing orchestrated to bring Delphie and Cooper together?
It makes you wonder, right? Like, how much control do we really have over our lives?
Exactly. But it's also about the lengths we'll go to for love, even after death. Talk about a devoted sister.
Totally. But even with all the twists and turns, what stays with you is this idea that human connection is everything. Delphie's relationships with Cooper, Frida, even Jen, her old bully, they're messy, complicated, but they're real.
It's like what Yan, the woman who helps Delphie with the gala dress, says. The thing about people is you have to let them drag you to places you don't want to go. That's what being alive is. Makes you think, right?
Big time. It's like Greenwood is saying, get out there, embrace the messiness, because that's where the good stuff is. Don't play it safe, even in the afterlife, apparently.
And on that note, I think we've just about reached the end of our spin cycle for today.
I see what you did there. But seriously, folks, if you want a story that'll make you laugh, cry, and question everything you thought you knew about life, death, and second chances, check out The Love of My Afterlife. It's a wild ride.